will spend 194 million rand a month on a new contract to distribute social grants. However, President Jacob Zuma says there's no need for the Social Development Minister to account for the grant saga just yet.
And in your sports news, African football elects a new leader to replace incumbent Issa Hayatu.
Hello and welcome to it. You're watching eNews Direct. I'm Tutuzile Ramela.
And I'm Sandile Kanguse. Good evening.
To comment on any of our stories, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct.
And you can also track our main stories using these hashtags SASA and Zwele Tumtetwa.
Cash Paymaster Services says it's asked government for 4.6 billion rand to keep paying social grants over the next 2 years. However, the company says it's prepared to stick to the terms of its illegal 2012 contract with the South African Social Security Agency and will accept an increase determined by the Auditor General. CPS has also revealed the terms of the aborted agreement it reached with SASA, which appears to relax the conditions under which grant beneficiary information can be shared. And in-depth investigation by Amabungane suggests CPS has been illegally sharing grant beneficiary information with its parent company Net1, but CPS denies this.
Cash Paymaster Services CEO Serge Bellement has repeatedly denied claims his company has exploited its contract to distribute social grants. Court documents show CPS parent company Net1 is responsible for most of the 550 million rand that comes off millions of grant recipients' bank accounts for things like loans and funeral policies. But Bellement insists grant recipients voluntarily seek these services from Net1 thanks to word of mouth. What you're saying is that your deals, according to you, are beneficial to poor people.
Why do you think people come to us? Do you think that we grab you from a pay point and put you in a car and drive you into town so you can go to our branch and say, you will not walk out of here until you have a policy? They take a policy from us because we are the cheapest.
And that financial services business is booming.
Since they got this contract, it's grown astronomically, 70 times in fact, and to the point that now 50% of their operating income is based on this financial services business.
Civil rights group Black Sash now wants the Constitutional Court to order that CPS cannot share the personal information of grant recipients with its subsidiaries. Karen Morn, Johannesburg.
And there have been numerous calls for the Social Development Minister's head to roll. However, President Jacob Zuma says there's no need to take action against Bathabile Dlamini because the SASA deadline for grants to be paid has not yet been reached. Zuma has apologized to grant recipients for the uncertainty. He says there's no reason to doubt that a solution will be found.
An air of expectation in the National Assembly after the Chief Justice and the Constitutional Court laid bare the mismanagement by the Social Development Department in the face of the social grants crisis. The issue was top of mind during President Jacob Zuma's question time, and it wasn't long before MPs wanted to know his intentions on the matter.
South Africans are calling for her to be removed. I'm certainly one of those saying she must be removed. Do you not believe it's time for you to act and remove Minister Bathabile Dlamini from cabinet?
The funny democracy, funny legal system that a person before committing a crime must then be judged and be punished. You are a Democrat. I thought you stick to democracy and the rule of law. Thank you, Madam.
MPs pushed the president to answer for his role in the grants crisis, why his lawyer Michael Hulley had been involved in negotiations, and even hinting that Cash Paymaster Services is bankrolling an ANC faction.
There's a rumor in the ANC caucus, for example, that CPS is paying for Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma's campaign, and I want you to comment on that.
The president didn't answer, but he did apologize for the uncertainty the grants crisis has caused, while assuring recipients that they will be paid.
We will ensure that there is never again any apprehension with regards to the payments of social grants to our people.
President Zuma was also reminded of the Public Protector's State of Capture report and former ESCOM CEO, now ANC MP Brian Molefe.
How is it that you allowed your party to deploy a person of such questionable ethics to this honorable house?
Allegations are not convictions. Allegations are allegations. Why should you be guilty before you are tried? I don't understand.
President Zuma now has a break from the grilling in Parliament and is only expected back in the National Assembly in a few months' time. Lester Kivat, Parliament.
In other news, internationally acclaimed artist Zwelethwa Mthethwa has been found guilty of murder. He beat a 23-year-old sex worker to death in 2013. Despite Mthethwa claiming memory loss, Western Cape High Court Judge Patricia Goliath found his defense unconvincing. Judge Goliath also revoked Mthethwa's 100,000 rand bail.
No emotion as he's found guilty of murder. But a different story at the other end of the courtroom. Judge Patricia Goliath says there was a silent witness in the case. CCTV footage capturing Nokopila Khumalo's death came to the state's rescue. Judge Goliath found Mthethwa's defense that he couldn't remember anything far-fetched, untruthful, and at times fabricated. Advocacy group Sweat has welcomed the judgment.
We are so happy. We've been following this court case from the beginning. Sex worker activists have been outside the courtroom, monitoring the case, recording what's happening.
Shackleton says there are many other cases like this.
There are a lot of cases of murder where the perpetrators are never found and where justice is never served. We've started a campaign called the Say Her Name campaign. The campaign aims to draw attention to these murders and to track the criminal justice response to murders of sex workers.
Judge Goliath sent out a strong message by revoking Mthethwa's bail. She says Mthethwa is no longer presumed innocent but convicted of a serious crime. Mthethwa's sentence will be handed down on the 29th of March. RT Narsi, the Western Cape High Court.
Most of Durban's North Beach has been reopened to the public, but nearby businesses are still counting the costs of damage caused by raging seas. On Sunday afternoon, massive waves crashed over the promenade. The eThekwini municipality says it will need between 5 and 10 million rand to fix some of the damage.
Durban's famous Golden Mile was left in this state after rough seas and high tides on Sunday. Cyclone Enao, coming from Madagascar, has been blamed for the damage. Clean-up operations began on Monday.
From the assessment that is still going on, we're still working with the figures of between 5 and 10 million rands, and that will exclude the damages that were caused on the restaurants that are around the promenade. But also this figure will include some of the offices that we have on the beachfront that were damaged. All council property at this point is between a figure of 5 to 10 million rand.
Most of the beach has now been reopened and damaged shark nets are being fixed. The city is assuring those who plan to visit during the Easter break that the beaches will be open and ready to welcome them.
We've been able to open both the central and also the southern beaches, so those beaches are now operational. They are now moving towards the north, which would include areas like Umhlanga. So they, from their investigation and assessment, they discover that those nets have been damaged and they will need to install new ones in most of the areas.
Officials say the remaining infrastructure repairs could take up to 2 weeks. Thuba Vilane, Durban.
Further afield, a Greek militant group, Conspiracy of Fire Cells, has claimed responsibility for mailing a bomb to the German finance minister. The ministry's mail department stopped the parcel which had been sent from a post office in Athens. A day earlier, the group attacked an Athens bookshop with gas canisters, causing minor damage. And at least 3 people have been injured during a shooting at a high school in a French town. A 17-year-old student has been arrested with a rifle, handguns and a grenade. An eyewitness says there was a loud bang before students dived under their desks. All things sport now, and what do you have for us after the break, Seda?
Thanks for that, Dee. What we do have for you coming up after the break is Caster Semenya's first track meet of the year. And we hear from JP Dlamini after a career best performance against New Zealand in the second test in Wellington. Yep. I don't have pep bite. I've only got Dlamini bite. Okay. Can somebody email me pep bite, please? Thank you. Zwakala. Zwakala. Fita. Skim sak.
A minute back.
Come here, baby, you drive me crazy, don't want no. Inkosi ne? Come here, baby, you drive me crazy, don't want nobody but you, my baby. Close and call me your baby, make me screaming. Boom, 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 boom. Yep.
20 stand by.
Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. And the biggest story of the day has been described as being the footballing version of an earthquake. CAF leader Issa Hayatou has finally been defeated in a presidential runoff. It's definitely the end of an era in African football, bringing the curtain down on Hayatou's 29-year reign as the commander-in-chief. This came after he lost the race to the Madagascar Football Association's chief, Ahmad. The Madagascar boss won the race for the top job by a vote of 34-20. Ahmad now becomes the 7th president in CAF's 60-year history. In football news, SuperSport United's coach Stuart Baxter is delighted to be in the next round of the Nedbank Cup. The defending champions managed to beat Royal Eagles 2-1 to book their place in the last 16.
And for the rest of the first half, I wasn't a happy man. We put a couple of things right at half-time. I thought we had better control of the game second half. Got the 2-1. And then the drama at the finish, we were saying if he's going to hit it, this is an indirect free kick. So the bit of drama at the finish, crowd get a bit angry, but it's a cup game, isn't it? So emotions are an important part of the cup. So we're happy to be in the next round.
Let's take you to Europe and give you UEFA Champions League news, where Monaco beat Pep Guardiola's Manchester City 3-1 at the Stade Louis last night. The win secured a 6-all draw on aggregate, with the French league leaders advancing to the quarters on away goals.
Now, the gap between the first and the second is there, so it's, you asked me why in the first half the gap between the first half and the second half is like this. It's the same question to me. It's the same one. But I try to convince them from after just finishing after Middlesbrough game and all the meetings we had these 2 or 3 days, said guys, go there and try to attack and try to go to score goals.
While in your cricket news, day one of the second test between the Proteas and New Zealand was a stalemate. New Zealand were restricted to a first innings total of 268 due to a burst of late wickets from off-spinner JP Dlamini. Dlamini recorded career-best test figures of 4 for 47, including that of the Black Cap centurion Henry Nicholls.
Yeah, look, there are times in the game where things need to go your way, and fortunately for us, it happened that way. But I think it comes down to just being consistent in trying to hit a certain area, and with that, things will happen for you. And I think that sort of played out today, and as I said, very pleased with it.
Let's close off our bulletin with athletics news, where Olympic gold medalist Caster Semenya kicked off her track season on Wednesday night in an event many would not have expected. Semenya won the 3,000-meter event at the ASA Speed Series in Potchefstroom in a time of 9 minutes and 36 seconds.
For me, I'll still do 800 till I'm slow. If I can't be able to break like 2 minutes, that's when I'll try to move out and maybe focus more on 5K. So, but I'll still stick on my 800 meters, till I'm late 30s. I don't know, but yeah, if I still have speed, I'll just keep on running 800 meters.
Meanwhile, Duduzile is standing by with all of your social media.
I am indeed. Thank you so much, Sandile. Jeff Radebe says public service employees won't be allowed to do business with government departments and other organs of state from now on. The minister in the presidency has briefed members of the media on the outcomes of a cabinet meeting held in Cape Town yesterday. Cabinet has also wished struggle veteran Ahmed Kathrada a speedy recovery. Kathrada recently underwent an operation to remove a blood clot from his brain. And South Africans have, as usual, taken their frustration to social media. This time, they vented about what President Jacob Zuma said in Parliament this afternoon when he answered questions in the National Assembly. Parliamentarians demanded to know why he's not firing Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini. The exchange prompted people to take to Twitter with the hashtag #FunnyDemocracy. A gentle reminder, if you've missed any of the stories we're tracking for you tonight, you can of course find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct, or you can head on over to our website, that's eNCA.com/direct. Your business news and your weather details after the short break. Do stay with us. Coolio. Alrighty. As usual. You just exposed yourself.
No. This is just me being me.
Clearly, you are at stage 3 of drunk. Let's just leave you.
Let me remind you.
To do you.
I'm a drunk. I go to parties. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't go to meetings. I'm a drunk. I go to parties, okay? Unlike when, hi guys, my name is Duduzile. Hello, Duduzile. Watch yourself, man.
You would know because you were in the meeting with me. That's why. Isn't it? We were together. That's why all changed. A mining billionaire plans to invest around £2 billion in Anglo American. Anil Agarwal says he intends purchasing a stake in the mining giant. This after a merger proposal failed in 2016. Anglo's share price jumped 9% on the JSE following the announcement. Should Agarwal succeed, he will become the second largest shareholder in the miner after the Public Investment Corporation. His full stake will equate to about 13% of Anglo's stock. Let's see how the markets performed today. Let's check in with the Weather Centre. Here's Louis.
Hi there everyone and welcome back to the Weather Centre. Here's a quick check of your Friday's weather conditions, and the big change between today and tomorrow will be berg winds pushing down from the Northern Cape down towards the south coast of the country, bringing some very high temperatures, especially to the southern Karoo. Some places climbing to the upper 30s, while in the north it will be partly cloudy. There could be 1 or 2 thunder showers for Gauteng as well as parts of Limpopo, but those are going to be very isolated, only about a 30% chance for the area. Here's your detailed forecast, and KwaZulu-Natal is going to be hot and dry on Friday, 32 as a maximum for both Ladysmith and Richards Bay. We also expect sunshine all across the Eastern Cape and a very hot day in the forecast for the Karoo areas as well as Bishu, 38 degrees as your maximum. For the Western Cape, we're going to see similar temperatures towards Beaufort West and Oudtshoorn, but along the coastline, most places are going to be climbing into the mid-20s. For the Northern Cape, sunshine expected as well as dry weather. It is going to be a windy day, in particular for the southern high ground, including around Sutherland. Wind speeds getting up to about 40 kilometers per hour in the mid-afternoon hours. We're expecting it to be a dry day for the Free State, as well as some cloud development for Welkom, but we don't expect any rainfall. While in the northwest, there could be 1 or 2 very isolated thunder showers around Mahikeng, Zeerust, as well as Rustenburg. Similar conditions extend into Limpopo, a few thunderstorms over the central and western parts later on, and morning light rain or drizzle possible along the northern escarpments, including Tsenin and around Thohoyandou. For Mpumalanga, on the other hand, it's going to be mostly dry, extremely isolated thunder showers possible for eMalahleni as well as Secunda. Those will be taking place in the mid to late afternoon, but by early evening, it'll be dry all across the province. And finally, into Gauteng, as we've seen, there's about a 30% chance for thunder showers, but it's more than likely going to stay dry for most places. A look ahead to the start of the weekend, when a weak cold front brings some early morning light rain on Saturday to Cape Town, and that rain is going to spread towards the south coast later on. And as we head into Sunday, wet weather makes its way up the east coast of the country. It should be dry for Gauteng, while there could be isolated storms around Uppington.
Thank you, Louis. Here's what's coming up after the break. So could you make the grade as cast member of the renowned Lion King? We'll bring you those details after this.
Can hear you, Joe.
Yes. Okay. Can I do a young, do you think you've got what it takes? Even me, I want to audition. Thanks, fans. Thanks. That's all I needed to hear. Cheers.
You know, there's no forward planning here. Huh? What's this
Celebratory, celebratory?
Celebratory.
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 Mara celebrate.
Okay, go with that. Go with that.
Celebratory.
Celebratory, as in you're in a celebratory mood?
Okay. Celebratory. Who made you?
Why are you asking me then?
King of the Oxford.
Why are you asking me then?
Celebrate. Celebratory.
Celebratory.
Celebratory. Watch me mess it up.
We sorting it out.
So you think you've got what it takes to be part of the world's leading musical?
I think you'd be the perfect candidate. Producers of Disney's The Lion King are in South Africa in search of local talent.
Yep, they're preparing for the show's celebratory 25th global production, which kicks off in Manila next year.
Let's look at what went down at the Johannesburg edition.
It's a childhood classic that never gets old. Remember the lines, Awimbawe, Awimbawe. Yes, the Lion King. Well, after traveling and showcasing in over 100 cities in 19 countries, the production is here in South Africa. But this time around, they are scouting for local talent to travel with them in their very first international tour. And guess what? We have the backstage pass.
I've been coming to Lion King auditions from 2013, I think, just after my matric.
It's no secret that a large number of the cast members who are part of the Lion King are African. The show's main man, musician Lebo M, provides additional music, lyrics, a vocal score and arrangements for the movie and production. He says he's looking for that signature Mzansi flavor.
We've hired people who've never acted or sung in any production because they have the natural talent. So there is no one formula except the South Africanness that you bring. Yeah. And that comes actually from the movie. And the work I did and wrote in the movie, which really identified the soul and the spirit of the Lion King. So when you translate it to a Broadway production, it became clear that you need South Africans.
Since its Broadway premiere in 1997, 24 global productions have been seen by more than 90 million people. The renowned musical opens its 20-year celebration in the Philippines next year. Sadly, South Africans will have to wait until 2020 to sample the show. Until then, it's Hakuna Matata. Nodabego Sibisi, Johannesburg.
A reminder of your top stories before we say goodbye. We'll spend 194 million rand a month on a new contract to distribute social grants. However, President Jacob Zuma says there's no need for the Social Development Minister to account for the grant saga just yet.
And in your sports news, African football elects a new leader to replace the incumbent, Issa Hayatu.
And that's a wrap from the eNews Direct team. Your favorite drama, Rhythm City, is coming up next.
Yep, to share your views, you can send an email to enewsdirect@etv.co.za or just chat to us on Twitter and Facebook. And our handle is @eNewsDirect.
We'll see you again tomorrow night. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.